Hello. I invite you to continue our series of calm reflections on the book Our Home by André Luiz, a spiritual account of life after death and the maturation of consciousness. Chapter 12 is titled Umbral. This is one of the most pivotal chapters in the entire book. Not because it describes horror, but because it restores order to understanding. It is not a chapter about punishment. It is a chapter about consequence. After his conversations with Lísias, André becomes increasingly aware that his own experiences were not accidental. He begins to ask a question that until now did not even have a name. What, truly, is Umbral? Not the hell known from religious sermons. Not purgatory understood as a temporary sentence, but a zone that exists very close to Earth, almost at its very boundary. Lísias explains that Umbral begins where responsibility ends. It is the region of spirits who in earthly life were not evil enough to consciously choose wrongdoing, yet also did not make the effort to live according to the law of good. It is the zone of indecision, of postponing duty, of escaping inner work. Every soul, when descending to earth, enters into a commitment with life, not always consciously, but always truly. When this commitment is neglected, when life is reduced solely to the satisfaction of personal desires, the body disappears after death, but the inner state remains. Umbral, therefore, is not a verdict. It is a reflection. Lísias uses a simple yet deeply accurate image. He says that each of us returns to earth wearing a soiled garment, which must be cleansed through experience. If instead of washing it, we stain it even further, we cannot return to luminous realms in a worse condition than before. Umbral then becomes a place where illusions are burned away, where false images dissolve slowly, where that which has no use in higher life is undone. Lísias also explains that Umbral is not chaos without meaning. It is a transitional zone. It is inhabited by spirits not yet ready to work in colonies of light, but also not in need of the most severe corrective experiences. That is why Umbral almost merges with the plane of incarnated humanity. Thoughts, emotions, and desires on earth do not vanish. They radiate. Every thought is an action. Every desire attracts corresponding vibrations. Thus Umbral is filled both with discarnate spirits and with thought forms of those still living. It is an invisible humanity, walking side by side with the visible one. Lísias says something that sounds like a warning, but is in truth an invitation to awareness. A human being always lives in the company of those with whom they are inwardly aligned. Umbral is full of anger, frustration, disappointment, and rebellion. Not because God created it that way, but because such states are drawn there. And yet, even there, divine care is never absent. Help is never lacking. Light is never extinguished. The most difficult missions of the ministry of assistance are carried out precisely in Umbral. There serve spirits of great courage, for they help those who often do not understand the help offered and do not wish to receive it. Moved by this vision, André expresses a desire to work among the lost souls. He wishes to bring light where darkness prevails. But Lísias responds with a question that closes the chapter. In reflective silence, are you truly ready? For the desire to help does not always mean readiness to serve. And light, before it illuminates others, must first become stable within ourselves. Chapter 12 teaches us one of the most essential truths of this book: that there are no arbitrary judgments. There are states of consciousness, that after death, we do not go where we are sent, but where we are inwardly attuned, and that every thought, every neglect, every escape from responsibility has its natural consequence, not as punishment, but as lesson. Are we able today to look at our own thoughts and emotions as forces that shape our future reality? In the next chapter, we will see how this understanding begins to influence the further path of André Luiz. See you soon.